Is there also become
Et nos chemins d'enfance. Avec toi dedans.
there is a lot that take down man. So yeah, there is also the calm that is because of the world economy, and that has actually now gone, which doesn't actually even want to see this war ended. How I want you to kind of get from those perspectives, if I may, to really educate us from your English position. What are we not seeing from the perspective of our brothers and sisters I will call from that big, and how can we then use that we are not seeing in order to better either make peace or fight this war so our people understand what our enemy is really all about.
I did not want to be too complex in my own analysis or presentation of the facts, but it is clear, I think, that in 1961, South Cameroons, except North Cameroons, moved not only into Cameroon, African Cameroon, also moved into what was back then the Central African imprint of France. And that imprint has a history. Because you may have to remember that France has two imprints in Africa. One is West Africa, Cote d'Ivoire and Senegal in the centers. And you have economic consequences, military consequences, and so on. But I'm only going to talk about the Central African part of it, where you also have financial, CFA, its own currencies, etc. But the military aspect is actually most important. Because that part of the world was organized in 1940. So you have to understand that from 1940, the center of that world was Chad. So military is under the command of Chad. As a consequence, any military action will be decided from the defense point of view, decided from Chad. And that's why, if you follow my page, from 2018, like one of my questions was always, are soldiers from Chad mobilized in Cameroon? Amazonia, are they mobilized already? Because since 1940, they have always been mobilized. 1940, 1950, 1960, 1970. And we'll be, in 2014, of course, and it will be surprised if they will not be mobilized in 2017. Because the continuity is so rapid, so clear, that it will still be actually, if Cameroon does not even need to be here, because the continuity is there, he knows that it is part of the state. Of course, in Central African Republic, and as an exception was engaged in Mali. What I'm trying to say here is that less than France itself for Central Africa, because Central Africa tends to be quite secure outlines. You have long service, etc. Less than France intervening like it does in Cote d'Ivoire or Mali. It is Chad that does it for France. So that was my fear, but then it was added some soldiers now told me that soldiers from Chad are in Bamenda, are in Bakusa, etc. But then, I don't know if it was noise only, it did not blossom. So what I was saying is that is one school of thought, which is military. And it's like them to see that in Amazonian readings, you never mentioned that. You never mentioned the fact that in 1961, you entered not only in a relationship with that British Cameroon, you actually entered into a relationship with a single land of the Empire, of which Cameroon was part. So that has consequences. That immediately consequences, because Cameroon is not the leading military power here in this chart. So regarding the financial aspect, neocolonialism and involvement of the past in finances, the western part of Cameroon. Personally, I think it is less important. I think it's less important. I think independence is going to solve itself. The development of the goal is necessary. What is worrisome for me is the lack of analysis from the government side, the side, lack of analysis of the fact that you did not enter into a partnership with Black people only. You really literally enter into a partnership with a settlement of the Empire, which is Central Africa. It has its own dynamic, it has its own history, its own relationships, etc. etc. So that's what I was saying.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you very much. Since Dr. Edmond has to leave us, let us know, because we've been on for an hour and we know you have other business to take care of today. So let us know when we are approaching your limit with us. We have some hands up. Let us take this cluster of questions, and then as we did the first part, since Dr. Edmond is done with his question. Comrade Festus, you are next, and then Eta C, then Comrade Eleanor, then Comrade Emma. Comrade Festus, unmute yourself and ask. Please, let's just do questions in the interest of time. Let us go straight to the questions, and we will come back for comments if Professor Ganang still has time. So just focus on questions. Comrade Festus, unmute yourself. If Comrade Festus is not there, let us go to Comrade Eta C. We can come back to Festus later. Unmute yourself. Okay, Festus, you are muted and then you muted again.
Hold on a second, please. Just give me a second. I'm going to go. I have restrictions on now. So just Festus, I'm going to ask you to unmute you. So go ahead and unmute yourself.
Thank you. I was struggling with that actually. Prof, it's a pleasure to meet up with you today virtually, and we appreciate your time invested in humanity and to sympathize with us. You've spoken by and large, and my major concern of what is going on in the territory of Cameroon has to do the actual situation.
Kick out that Emma, please. Yeah, kick her out, Emma.
In my opinion, we are not in a situation of actually a genocide, taking into consideration the definition of what the word genocide. Without the inclusion of the military into our zones, into our home territories, there is no action, which is mainly resistance. So trying to resist because of the point of having the war. The question I have got has to do with engaging the international system that is behind that being able to sustain this system which they have, which is isolate Southern Cameroon. We know that besides France, there should be other parties that are responsible for Cameroon to sustain financially. Is there a way that we could identify these institutions or countries or bodies that continues to pump in money to give them their ability to sustain and continue killing us to achieve what they think is achievable, but they will not disappear. That will publish your process. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade Festus, for that brilliant question. Let's take the next hand up, which is Comrade Eta C.
Prof. Ganang, thank you very much for availing yourself to us today. And as everybody here will say, we follow you. I don't know whether the English translation is the best, or what the Francophones or what the French people see. We have been fighting or they have been killing us for more than 4 years now, and the French Cameroonians seem to be non-sympathetic, and we all know how many houses have been burned, how many people have been killed, and nobody or they don't seem to care. But things only started talking when 15 of their soldiers were shown on TV or on social media after they invented in the northern zone. Now, would they have started talking earlier? I know we still say, oh, we are fighting the system and not the people. But would they have started talking earlier, or would their mentality or their desire to talk, would it have changed if we too were killing them, irrespective of whether they are soldiers or not? Because they are not only killing the voices in the bushes, they are killing baby Matters and baby Caroline. Would that have changed? I know you may not be able to do strategies, but what would the international community think? And if it were you, what would you think?
Thank you, Comrade. Thank you. So let's take two more, Prof, and then you would answer, where we have two ladies coming up. So Comrade Eleanor, the floor is yours, and then Comrade Celestine, and then we'll go to Prof for answers. Comrade Eleanor. You're muted, I think. We cannot hear you. You're muted. Secretary, could you unmute her, please?
Exactly. Secretary has to.
Thank you. So, welcome from Ghana. Happy to have you on board. I have two questions. I'm sure you already told me that when it comes to your humanitarian and humanitarian, I probably have never said this before, but you played a very big role during your trip to Lawyer. Remember, you started in Delaware, and you went to Lawyer. And the role you played gave me a lot of courage. I don't know if you remember, but you were the one saying, tell the people what it is. Tell the people what it is. It was just after the adoption of documents. And you said, tell the people what it is. Now, my question to you is, given the millions of IDPs, hundreds of thousands of refugees that we have, what is it that you can recommend? Given that you know a lot of people, let me say, Francophones, who probably do not want us, may not want us to have more opportunity, but do sympathize with the suffering of people. What would you recommend? How do you approach these people? How do we get them to sympathize with those that are suffering by no fault of theirs? How do we get to them? Second question. You did promise you will go to Nigeria. When is that going to be? You don't need to respond that one either. I'm just reminding you of it. As a humanitarian.
Thank you. Thank you, Comrade Elena. So, Prof, let's take one more question, and then you will answer. Comrade Celestine, go ahead.
Thank you so much, thank you for Ghana. It's a great presentation. We are going to continue to have you among us. I actually have two questions in the upper part of this. And it's about the refugee issues, because we have a problem with we have a lot of medical challenges and feeding and housing and even social problems that we point out where we are accepted to settle. So it's not our responsibility as Amazonians to take care of people, not the problem of Nigeria. There's the issue of the United Nations. And why? And just like, what should we do? Because the settlers, they have been writing a lot of letters, but then the United Nations they still don't give these people's light on daily issues. Some are it's a disaster day. That is one of my questions, because maybe you can have a way that you can advise living there or also the diaspora how to handle the humanitarian issue of our refugees around the borders of southern Cameroon. My second question goes on education. You said in your presentation you came to the University of Korea and before they are building, speaking of Beijing as a landmark, now they are accepting that, which identify to the culture of the Amazonians. And it's been a couple of months that some renovations are being carried out in these universities, and these are some of the issues that came up. Then we, I think 2 months, we got some are from the for some of these reforms are being transferred, and those who are living that through their money. I want to ask, if something, we don't know how long this crisis is going to take, if the students then have benefited those reforms that they fought so hard to be given to their universities in the English side, are they not supposed to be those to manage those structures, those institutions that are being granted to the whole of Cameroon that are being used to those are like two areas of education? Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. No, I think I'm simply going to go step by step, starting with justice. Is question of genocide and war is, I think, settled. Genocide is a consequence of war. So it is one to is don't have war and then you don't have genocide. Because you don't have genocide without war. It's a state that commits genocide is that's an arm that cannot defend itself. So the state has the arm and there's war. A population that cannot defend itself and then commits genocide or is losing the war. And then acts out on population and commits genocide. Etc. So you have many scenarios, but you need to have solution of war in the first place. In the case of Cameroon, whatever the case, one will always have to come back to November the 30th, 2017. Yes, the war, that's where you start. Of course, there's still arguments that it must be the war, and it can make sense to a certain extent, but that's where you have to start. Because the war is an escalation of the situation that starts random. World War II started with the removal of the post office. World War I started with the murder of the Prince. And that's when it starts. So it is the process that drives the war as well, but the reality is in the second. The other thing is that genocide is also the moral argument. It's the moral argument for Amazonians to be able to pick up arms. Be able to be heard, arms in terms of self-defense, be able to organize, be able to be heard, be able to have the legitimacy, international legitimacy for the state to come. So without genocide, you will not be able to even say that you want to have a state. You will not be able to say to somebody next door, to your village, why you need a state. Because the person will say, why? Because you can feel like people of the other states, so you think, oh, people will our business better than under management. So genocide is therefore a moral argument. And so if they have some, they have a couple of countries that are willing, Germany, for instance, Germany is a willing partner, and I'm not going to see so much of Islam because Islam has been beaten up so much. I think Germany being former colonizing power in Cameroon, actually being something that brought us together, has a lot of say in that matter. So I think Germany will be number two. I'm not, one can say England will be questionable since France is questionable as well. But Germany has always been willing, and I think the Germans will have listening here that in those matters. Let's not forget that Germany is having a new chancellor as well, and France is likely to have a new president. So it is interesting. It also happens that a Cameroonian Umbrella has been, voted into German parliament. So I don't know what role, what capacity you can have to listen to what is happening on this country of origin. But these are types of things that are happening for the next year, or not essentially this year, when it is we have November, December, but probably for January, February. So there are possibilities there. You need to consider those possibilities carefully. Now regarding the happenings, I am a student of victory. I think victory is the best teacher, and victory is what makes you have friends. And nobody wants to have somebody who is good. So you just can have look. The bottom line is that nobody feels nobody is very much love. Because people understand that you won. So people like somebody who wins. You win the battle. You will have more friends. If one wakes up one morning and hears that the body has fallen, that there are battles, etc. When he hears that it's falling, it's like falling, the body falling, it's actually falling in that situation, etc. Which I'm not sure you want to do it for now. If you wake up and you hear that people has fallen, and those kinds of feelings, it changes automatically. When it is the Bamena has fallen, and so it means now people have been set in the mind in a road to have to victory. And that is the best teacher. I'm not sure you need to waste time trying to find friends amongst happy people. I don't spend my time doing that. I think the best teacher is victory. And the more victories you have, the more friends you necessarily have, because people will come your way. And of course, suffering makes you have friends as well, but not as much as victory. And so that for me is the best teacher. It was my answer to Garcia. Now, who amongst the powerful tribal just to put it bluntly, honestly, these last weeks made two things. First is that, and I'm going to be blunt here. If you kill a blue officer, you have it, you work with it, you are at the heart of the matter. But if you kill somebody from the north, a Bangladeshi man or so, you are really wasting your time, because they are not worried about it. So everybody understands that you come back to the map I had before, that who are fighting forces. Everybody understands that it is one of the, even if it is a soldier, you have a Bangladeshi officer who has been arrested. People will say, come on, arrest 20, and it's not going to move anything. You have a Northeast officer who is arrested in the Brazil. It means nothing. It's nothing really. You have a Basa officer who is arrested on field. It's a waste of energy. The thing you arrest or you kill somebody from Bulu and somebody from Malta and I don't know, Europa. Yeah, it's not. And if you move along those lines, you are moving on the path. So then you're not wasting the knowledge, you're not wasting the time, you're not wasting the energy. You're actually doing something substantial. So I just want to say that I've noticed in general that the Southern Cameroonians and Mozambicans tend not to look at the sociology of Francophones, tend not to look at the alliances that Francophones have amongst each other or to power. And so you have to go for the center. You don't have to go for the territory. So don't do the, it's like you are at the war now, you arrest somebody from where? I don't know, somebody from down here. Really, it's a waste of time. Expect that person free. At the moment, nobody's history was based on the fact that he killed the officer whose name is Ivan Gucci. Vanishing and vanishing school battalion. It's a rock in the public, and that is how people started listening. It is not necessarily because people died, it's because the kind of matter was in the Gucci. That is the reason. That is fundamental. So I want to ask you very clearly that you have to know the enemy, because then, as a consequence, you will shorten the battle, you will shorten the war, you will even shorten the number of people killed, arrested, wounded, etc. So you have to know exactly who your enemy is. I mean, and to be practical your books, but you always say exactly that you have to know your enemy. So that's what that will be my answer here. So then you know about refugees, starting with when we were, of course, I mean, these last 2 years were kind of no year experience, and I was so invested in campaigning for something else, that would not have not been possible for me to imagine moving away from it because I had a team at 20 as well. I had to micromanage everything for a full year, the TV station, all that. So I'm going back on track, just for you to know. I'm going back on track. And so that is the first issue of my capability because I actually have one important so of course, I had a book that I published and the book was actually to help with this. So I always suspected the state of refugees. That's something that is not solved in a year or two. And the politics of refugees is so long, and also refugees are, let's face it, are a weapon of war. So one has to have a clear clarity of impact, which is to say, if, for instance, the government, about the government or anybody in the leadership is spending too much money on refugees, as a consequence, it is hurting state agencies survive. It is not defending itself or defending ambassadors against the enemy. So one has to choose where the funds are going to hide. One has to choose where to invest one's energy or one's funds. So what is to recommend is that you can't be smart about how you invest your energy because at the end of the day, you want to win. So you want to win the war, you want to be independent, when you're independent, the moment you are, all refugees come back home. So it's a solution there. So when you win, you'll solve your refugee case. If you lose, you'll create more refugees. So then you have to invest your time and energy on winning. And the example of Zimbabwe today as for all those cases, you just have to learn from them to realize that winning is the best master. So, whose responsibility is it? I think I actually did an answer to that. You have so many agencies that always take care of refugees. From the UN or Nigerian neighbors, families, let's not forget internally displaced, back from Cameroons, remember I did build a school there, for African kids, and it blossomed from 400 kids that were going there, now it's 800. I'm actually very much afraid to whose responsibility is that first of all state agencies, first of all, and because you don't want to put the eye from refugees, you don't want to do that. That's my own clear-cut analysis here. So the Amazonian leadership, I would say, will be strengthened, strengthening crime prevention. And that is issue number one, strengthening crime prevention and refugees is issue number two. So crime prevention is number one, always. Because when we win, refugees have to come back. And all of us must have a country. But you have they will have a country to come back.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. We have Comrade Powerful Kimbang, hands up, and then we have Struggle Collins. Powerful, go ahead with your question for Professor Ngana.
Power and grab land our territory. That is victory. And victory only multiplies. So the question is, what are we doing to ourselves to be able to do that to ourselves? Because the one is that grabbing our territory and we have in the different community reluctant not want to acknowledge our identity as a majority. We force it on them, and some of us are reluctant even to do it. Finally, because we push them with a thousand Cameroon, because we fall on the southern part of Cameroon, and we are from them, which we have to go with that promotion. So, the most important one is covering from the what we would tell from was in French. What are talking to us? We know our problem. We know how to solve it. And the problem is nothing because the generation that grew up from 1972 till now, they are more from people who don't even know who we are. They are people. That's why we are who we are. Because that is was to reinforce us that is like them and forget our own value. And that is where we are. We spend more time fighting amongst ourselves than grabbing our land and knowing who we are. So the only way we can correct is to speak in French to some people right now. They are the ones to talk to because we know what we will do. And my granddaughter has united power with us to know that this game, it was a game, and now we are in for it. And majority and majority. When you see what happened to my granddaughter on TV, she should be able to take this seriously. We don't need something. We need to educate ourselves and take our and the intentional community will come in when we start saying that Bamida, everybody is in our control. Oya is in our control. Remember is in our control. That's when we speak. The UN knowing that they are going to come in and deal with us. They don't want to be dancing around and talking about the international community. They are business people.
Thank you.
Our brothers on the side of the world, you can just say something and press them, not in English, but in their tongue, where they can understand.
Okay, before Prof goes, let's take struggling Collins and then Prof can decide what he wants to do. Struggler Collins, go ahead. And then that will be the last question, then we'll have open discussion. Secretary, could you request Collins to unmute himself? Okay.
For coming and talking to us. My question is a little bit going in the direction of the Pan-African policy. And although our debate has a pornography on how to be satisfaction for me, I feel the anger out of it. And that's why he's talking against us. You purchase, you pass through some stages here of your life here in Germany. And you also know how things were sometimes like, and also how they need, because I think the red box of the pandemic for in Germany. And when I see such red box losing the green for freedom, for sight of your future and those of your children, it is very disturbing. And so my question is in this direction. Are you making some efforts to enlighten the Bantu people? They are here in their countries, in Germany, example, GMO. And that should be not the case. It should either be declared that France is the cause of that injury and the cause of their children in the future if in case they do not take care. So there are certain things like that because some of them, for example, you may know Joko. Joko is one of my men when we were sometimes back. And so he's one of the people who was like they are trying to, make it some way, some way. But if we can have many of them, then we can start seeing a change. Okay? So there are certain, it is very disturbing for me because as an Amazonian, it will be disturbing for me to have neighbors who are not of much to some level that we can have some understanding and do certain things with them. So because if I think of Africa, with 14 African countries, what is the population? And what is the population of France? They are being controlled by France. And if that message can be sent clear, if I don't know if you are having some mechanism to push that through, because it is disturbing for me. Yeah. So that's all what I want to say now. That's my question.
Okay, Prof. The floor is yours.
I can actually blend those two questions together. I think we talk so much with each other that I think we tend to know each other. There as a matter of fact, I would say there are two kinds of narratives, and you can actually struggle in that context. You have the narrative of suffering. At the end of the narrative of suffering, you have genocide. And I suspect it's kind of because establishing the narrative of suffering, marginalization is one chapter of exclusion, etc., etc. You have the narrative of suffering. You get that much from it as well. And so we can bring a lot to the narrative of suffering. But there's the narrative of it as well. And I tend to think that the narrative of it starts at September the 16th, Global Tuesday. So there you have the beginning of the narrative of suffering, right? Where you had a young man who, 4 years ago, certainly did not know how to should be done, and who was 19 years old, and who in 4 years has managed to be at the head of command of the 100-man strong battalion. Even if the military school cannot get that level of sophistication, and who managed to banish an officer who's trained in the year. So a narrative of victory doesn't need to be planned. So you don't need to have statements saying that, Pamela Airport has fallen, etc., etc. You start small, you do the small battle, and then you go to the next battle, and then you go to the bigger one. But you need to establish a continuity to do that. What I'm saying here is that you don't have somebody who tells nobody talks to those who make those videos. They realized it and they saw that it was essential to locate the video and to see when it's happened, when it happened, and actually very fast, but also find the meaning and identity of the Cameroon soldier who's killed, know him, had his face in the face of the soldier who's vanished. So it is part of the narrative of the history to locate it really. But what needs to be done in the coming months, etc., is to establish now, as one says, is to connect the dots. If you want to have a grand narrative, here is where people will fall in line, come into that thing. You will understand that they are moving in a direction where victory is possible. That possibility will certainly gather some momentum, etc. So that is essential. So I would say moving from the narrative of suffering to the narrative of victory. And it started really in September 16th. So it is possible in all the chapters of Amazonia. Pass them along for people to really fall in line on that and be able to organize along those lines when we establish the discourse of the war, then you will necessarily see things happening. It's happening not only, African Cameroons, but most of the international institutions listening. And I'm going to be quite concrete today. A couple of months ago, it was 2 years ago, we went to Abuja to have a tour of those institutions. And what all Africans who are diplomats share, and most Africans share, is that they have an intimate knowledge of civil wars. So you can take West Africa, something from Cote d'Ivoire, something from Chad, somebody from Uganda. You're not going to tell you about civil war. I mean, a couple of years ago, if the person is 50 years old, you're not in a civil war. Somebody from Rwanda, Chad is a country. So that is the universal knowledge of all Africans with those civil wars. And out of them, we only have one question. What cities have fallen? So then if you can point cities that have fallen, so you are establishing knowledge of success, that is not a relief. And if you are not people of doing that, they will say, oh no, you are still at the beginning, because you're not going to teach them how to fight the war, they have to do it themselves. And I'm going to go deeper. The Secretary General of the EU, that man from Chad, and then he himself came out of the civil war. They're not going to tell him about it. He fought it. So he knows the details of it. He knows when you win, he knows when you lose, he knows when you like infancy, he knows when you have a united front. He knows if you come, you are simply faction, and he will ask you how many factions, and he knows that you're wasting his time, etc. But the narrative is what makes you, they can see this, because then you understand the dynamics of what's happening and where the future lies. So then I'll simply insist on, that narrative is what we put forward. So be careful about that. Be very careful. People can easily buy the fact that you're split, that you have factions. But it is normal. People understand that at some point you need time to go into the United Front. Everyone understands that. But nobody will understand that you're losing and you want to have attention. Nobody, because then they will see you can't listen to the state. So you need to have a narrative that can make them take your own demands seriously. That's what I call narrative for success. I think that regarding quickly I will say I can spend 2 years. I call them wasted 2 years trying to organize, but please, I'm not going to do that again. I'll move on.
Thank you, Prof. Let me ask you one question, then we will open it. Maybe you also have questions you want to ask the larger Southern Cameroonian community. I mean, you know a lot of us individually, and you know the situation, but maybe you have not had a gathering because when I look at what's going on, there are thousands watching us on Facebook. SCBC is carrying this on ground zero. They are very thirsty, to see you and hear from you. So maybe you may have general questions, but let me ask you this question because it's important for us. You have given us an analysis of us. It's important for us to also have an analysis of where we are breaking the joints, for lack of a better analogy, of La République. Our not only moral victory, but our measurable victories, because we don't have a lot of behind the scenes. You know people inside the system. We get general information that yes, La République is hurting. Could you break down for us the impact both on the society, on the government, and maybe the near collapse of the regime as a result of this war which they declared? What is happening on their end?
I think we are students on history, and I spend my days really since 4 years working on civil wars. And yesterday I spent the whole day yesterday working on civil war. Again, look at it. You understand the dynamics of it. And I ended up working again on South Sudan, civil war of South Sudan. Understand what were the body points, what is the calendar of events, and what is the dynamic between independence in South Sudan and the fall of dictator in North Khartoum. So you are the same people want to understand the dynamic of the relations. Let's say the dynamic relations between on the one hand independence and on the other hand now conflict. It's not automatic. and have that case in Ethiopia, have that same case in Sudan, and you are likely to have a similar case in Cameroon. And that's why, I spent my whole 4 years analyzing all those laws, and I think it is important for us to disconnect independence from fall of the reality. Because these are two different matters. So if the clarity of the market is not there, you are planning to lose it. I'm not sure, and I don't think that the market of Amazon and fall. I think these are two different ones. So if the result is clear that it is not about there, it's rather to gain independence. Whatever the case is here, if there is there, so be it. If there is not there, so be it. But go to independence. And one can have a narrative that has a goal. You cannot have a narrative of goal. Narrative of goal. What's your goal? Your goal is goal. That's why I like to think about it. Now, the moment you have a goal, you have at least 3 steps of clarity. You have the unity of purpose. You have the unity of leadership. You have the unity of of structure. But the unity of purpose, unity of goal is buoyant. That is buoyant. That is where you have the end goal. And that's where you're going to judge. So if you say that you won without having buoyant in your hand, of course you've not won. Since 2016, that was the goal. That has been set as the goal. It's buoyant. So anything else becomes less important than that. Unity of leadership, you can talk about unity of structure, having that man is that is something else. So you can, or united front, you can talk about it. That unity of goal is established something that has to be in front of you all along, every single day. And the moment is now you're getting closer to it. That moment actually start taking you seriously. And of course, the person who makes it easier for you to get there becomes the leader. And of course, the structure that makes it easier for you to get there becomes the structure behind which all forces. I mean, looking at other schools or even other movements, the Palestinian movement, you actually realize that having a united front is actually possible because, of course, at the end you will have 2 parties. From democracy to the liberal front, so then you have 2 parties. So it means it's not the advantage you don't have to be united front for your future, for your own future. It is important to keep that competition going for 2 parties to exist after independence. You see. So, therefore, the most important thing is not unity of structure. It's not even unity of leadership. It is rather unity of goal. Take the example of Zimbabwe. Even after independence, they had 2 leaders, Joshua Nkomo and Robert Mugabe. They had 2 structures, right? But they had one goal, which was the independence of Zimbabwe. That one is what united them until here. And so if you invest the time, finding what is one leader on fighting for I was listening to speeches on October the 1st on the ground of what is the no, just slow down. Competition is very good because it makes your future possible. You don't want to end up in a situation of Nigeria, for instance, where at the end of the day you have one man who's commanding everything and there is no possibility of having a future. So competition is healthy along the way for you to be able to secure your future after independence.
Thank you. Let's take one last question because the hand came up as you were speaking. Maybe he lowered it. Was that Bomboy? I think he lowered his hand. I don't see it anymore. So, anybody who has any comments, Prof, we don't know how much time you have, but again, just signal us. Yes, good, thank you. So, if you have any questions or if you want to, okay.
We have a comment first from the secretariat. Don't mind.
Okay, let us take a few comments, Prof, and then you would then give your rebuttal or ask your own questions, and we can have a very educative exchange. That's the purpose of these town hall meetings. So let us keep it to 2 minutes, please. We know a lot of people have a lot to say. This is a very, very it's a life and death. It's more than just passion. It is our lives on the line. But let us please, for the benefit of others and time, keep our comments to 2 minutes, please. We don't want to have to interrupt you. Make it concise. So let's start with the secretariat. We have Powerful's hand up. Then we have Jojo, Let me see who's next after Jojo on my screen. Then we'll have Bomboy and then we'll have Charles Agbo. Please, let's keep it to 2 minutes so that we can go round. Secretariat, go ahead.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, what?
Go ahead, Dr. Fontaine. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Monaco. Professor Ghana, I would like to very much thank you or sincerely appreciate the time you have taken to have this conversation with us. I knew that you wouldn't make it out once you saw something else. What I think that the disposition you have is actually the kind of attitude that we expect those that who have with respect to these kind of serious issues. The problem we have often faced, and which made Southern Cameroons think that we were done with the French Cameroon, is that the people who caused us problems were the academics. You have people like Professor Mbona and all those government apologists who felt that Southern Cameroon was the best way. And so things evolved over time. For those of us who grew up in that system, we knew that at some day we were going to have this fight. It was just a matter of time. I went to the conference back then, but I refused to cross over to college then when I finished my master's. For the simple reason that in the neighborhoods where we grew up, we were either treated as we had plenty of from complaints, but some of us were tired of fighting every day in the neighborhood because we were either treated as people who ran away from war and were given a place to stay, and now we're not accepting an identity or a place. And so, even after I finished secondary school, I was in secondary school, and when asked to go to the city then, we still protested. And so, our fight has been from childhood. So, I want to very sincerely thank you for the level of enlightenment, and I think it's great for French languages to know the truth, because it's not going to change anything. They have been sufficiently indoctrinated to think that we're second class, we are slaves, we're captured, and so on. So we have to focus on what our goal is, to get the freedom of Southern Cameroon, to get the independence of Southern Cameroon, and to live like a decent people. Now, very much like issues that you have been I think that defeating the enemy through the force of arms, which they started, is a priority. But I also want to call on our people to realize that assisting those in dire need is also going to help, particularly those in the refugee camp, internally displaced, those in detention, those who are affected by this conflict, disease, and so on. It's also going to the casualty rate, because many people have died not from bullet wounds, but from the abuse that is facilitated. And that is why the civil society network in this organization needs to continue to strengthen itself. And now, I think that you have pointed out that you understand the politics, and I think to raise the issue, the problem with the relation with the French Cameroon War is that every time that commanders don't want to answer questions like
le Cameroun est un état de droit. J'ai toujours dit que le Cameroun aujourd'hui est un état de droit. Voyez-vous, je suis en conférence actuellement en anglais. Je voudrais prendre tout le temps pour voir ce qui se passe. La réalité, c'est la
when the war started, because they realized that they could not afford the other ones dying. But when it was peacetime and they were making a lot of money from the army, so our people need to also realize this. And I am happy and I believe that many of our political leaders and
international organizations are following this discussion and will draw lessons from what the message that you have brought today. And then lastly,
Let us, yes, Dr. Fontana, let us keep it rolling, please.
yes, please.
Let us respect time.
Yes, lastly, the issue of Egypt, a certain professor from Nigeria has often is represented and shown almost certain blatant ignorance about it. And at some point, you would take all, according to all us, your phones. They should test that if you go to the Caribbean, Jamaica, and all these other countries, that question is there, which sounds like open is actually Egypt, which over time became the mother tongue of the people. In Egypt is a marginal language, which has been adopted by the people who do not have the same common language. And so over time, children who are born to speak language are not an indigenous mother tongue, speak what they want in Creole. And in Creole is when you hear the Kasab singing, that is French-based Creole. There are English-based Creoles in Guyana, Jamaica, and all these other British colonies that used to be in the Caribbean. So I think for our personal understanding and for what these guys doing, we need to understand that our British doesn't have a problem. And we'll continue to use it because it's like a method of communication that has served us very during this time of war. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Fontana, for that. Powerful, go ahead. Unmute yourself. Secretary, could you unmute Powerful? What happened to Powerful? Did he drop? No, he was unmuted and then he disappeared. Did he drop? Maybe he lost. Oh, okay, go ahead.
southwest, the land that they are guaranteed for, this land are not being followed by people who came from outside. They are now strangers in their own homeland. And with all this education, they are jogging. They are forced to speak French. And these guys, they had to do something to claim their birthright. And what happened in 2017 when they did that, gave them that opportunity to stand up, and they have stood up, and you see the problem that is going on, which we see with our leadership. People are still there in that from 1970, this generation in that francophone mentality, and not actually seeing what this new generation are dying and fighting. They know the fight of freedom. And they know, say, my brothers and sisters, that how did they disarm us? They took our wealth, they took our family. We started with sticks. And now, the way we are, that is reclaiming our identity. We are Amazonian. We want our violence is so that I don't know what was done. What was this war is because of their courage. We in the diaspora, we are lost by people fighting. Because what we should do is coming from Black Lives Movement and the New movement. Black Lives Movement started by two black women in New York. They mobilized the grassroots and you see where they have got. The New movement started by one woman, black woman in New York. And then in 2016, mobilized the Irish people. And then you see what the Me Too has done. It has covered movies now by the Republican politicians. But we have an attitude that we do not mobilize the areas where we are active in Cameroon. We are talking about the new everywhere. And you know, it starts from ground level. We don't bring that politics of going out there and mobilizing non-Ambazonians to speak for us. So we would rather rush the UN and want to take pictures and think that the UN will deal with us. No, the average man on the street is president should be mobilized. And I remember one of my
Let us.
but then this is something else. One of my classmates looked at our demonstration in front of the White House and said, look at your people. You are carrying a placard of your people who have massacred men and children. When you see your people dancing and laughing and playing, why are your white friends who will support you? You don't think it is when they give the UN and the international community that can do anything for us?
Let us. Okay, let us keep our discourse on the subject matter as opposed to general, this thing. But points are being well taken. Prof, I don't want you to just be watching. If you feel like, coming in and saying something, please interject whenever you feel the need.
No. It is also very good to this, right? I think it's part of our exercise that we not only talk, but also listen to each other. And I'm very much happy to listen. I'm sure the opportunity will come later. I will say something.
Okay, thank you, Prof. So Jojo and Bazo, go ahead, and then we have Bomboy. Jojo.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just want to thank you very much for that matter. I can see that there is a matter. And unfortunately, some of us are not aware that some of us are very aware that identity is very important. It's time we stop accepting something that we do. It's time we stop accepting. And calling ourselves Amazonian. Don't change our name. Don't want to associate people who are killing us. So that's why you see people like that, small narratives, it's like we have a lot of Cameroonians, and we're not angry enough because we still want to associate ourselves with people that we want to associate ourselves from. See, the other day I was listening to one of the programs, and one person was saying, Nayada, no special station, very soon they have to keep their own special station as well. Meaning that they don't even have a clue. They don't even have a clue about what this fight is about. And that is because Southern Cameroon, we still refer to ourselves as Anglophons. And one of them said we should ban the appellation Anglophones and Francophones. I said, but should be the one adding, not them. We don't want to hear that appellation anymore. We should insist on calling ourselves who we are. We want to establish a nation. We want to get together. We want to call ourselves Amazonians. I will insist on that. I'll just leave it at that.
Thank you, Comrade Jojo, for keeping the time. Bomboy, go ahead, and then we have Comrade Charles Abo after you. Bomboy, go ahead.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. And once more, now, I appreciate you and welcome you. Maybe I should remind you the years you spent trying to organize the communities are not wasted years. It's time well invested. There are people who don't learn, they grow not to learn. They want to see and analyze and remove themselves from the equation. I witnessed a woman who posted two pictures yesterday and made one-sided comment. When you pounce on how she removed one of the pictures, and all she did is to do another video crying. I'm not explaining why she's crying, but blaming people for wanting to kill her. The take home for me from you today is people support victory. People will come and talk to you when they see you victorious. Anything else being constant, this is a big home for me. We need to focus on the victory. I think for 60 years, we have tried, there have been naive